Who the hell is this?
I'm assuming you think this lady offed her husband, but someone was tied up with the curtain cord. There are no marks on the victim's wrist, so...
Isn't that our cleaning lady?
What is she supposed to do?
This one. There was thrashing around, and bathwater put out this lone candle.
Well, not too bad for your first case.
She has a 160 IQ, and she's quietly solved every case. Police couldn't. A janitor with a 160 IQ walks into a crime scene and walks out with the answer even the detectives missed. She has no badge, no training, just a gift no one saw coming. But once she starts solving crimes, nothing will ever be the same. It's a normal night shift. Morgan, a single mom working as a janitor at the police station, pushes her cart down the dim hallway, tired, unnoticed, invisible, until she sees it, a board filled with clues from a murder case. Photos, notes, a timeline. Something clicks. She stares at the evidence for less than a minute and says something that stops a detective cold. "You're looking at the wrong guy." Everyone laughs, but the next morning, the real killer is in cuffs. And Morgan? She's no longer just a janitor. What begins as a fluke quickly turns into a pattern: murder, arson, kidnapping, fraud. Cases the department couldn't crack in weeks. Morgan solves in hours, but her methods, let's just say they don't follow protocol. She interviews suspects in flip-flops, brings her kids to stakeouts, and questions detectives with brutal honesty. Yet her instincts are uncannily right every single time. And with each case she touches, you feel it, like she's heading toward something bigger. But what? What's the real reason her brain works like this? And what happens when the next case gets too personal? Part 3. The department doesn't trust her until they have to. Detective Karadek, seasoned, sharp, and skeptical. He doesn't trust Morgan, thinks she's a fluke. But when she saves his case and his job, he starts to see the truth. She's not lucky, she's brilliant. Still, the rest of the department is torn. One side whispers fraud, the other genius. As Morgan dives deeper into cases, tension builds in the precinct. And in the audience, we feel it. Will they turn on her before she cracks the biggest case of all? Morgan's brilliance comes at a price. Her son feels abandoned. Her ex tries to sabotage her. And worse, the criminals she puts away, some of them want revenge. In one gut-wrenching episode, a woman walks into the station and tells Morgan, "You sent my brother to prison." He was innocent. Morgan starts to doubt herself. Could she be wrong? Did she destroy an innocent life? The question haunts her, and us. Because if she can be wrong, what happens when the next mistake costs someone their life? Then comes the case. A prominent judge is murdered. Clues point in too many directions. The press is all over it. The mayor is breathing down the chief's neck. And the only person seeing the real picture is Morgan. But the killer is smart, smarter than anyone she's faced. And for the first time, Morgan feels outmatched. We watch as she spirals, losing sleep, pushing away loved ones, obsessing over red string and timelines and handwriting. She's close, too close. And then, a break, a name. But before she can reveal it, someone tries to silence her. By now, viewers aren't just watching for the cases. They want to know, who is Morgan? Why does someone this smart end up cleaning floors? Why hasn't she chased more? What's holding her back? The show plants clues, flashbacks of a young girl solving puzzles, an old letter she never opens, and a sealed file labeled Morgan Matthews, Incident Report, age 14. Every episode pulls you deeper, not just into crime scenes, but into her story. And it's building towards something massive. Through it all, Morgan's purpose stays clear: protect her children, and never go back to being invisible. She's solving murders, yes, but she's also fighting a war against her own past, her failures, her regrets, and her fear that this new life, it could all be taken away with one mistake. The deeper she gets, the more we realize. This show isn't just about how she solves the crime, it's about what happens when she becomes the target. By episode 8, things shift. It's no longer one case at a time. Now the pieces connect, a string of crimes, all leading back to someone Morgan knows, someone who knows her. The suspense tightens, the threats become personal, and in the final seconds of the episode, she finds something in her son's backpack, a clue from a crime scene she never told him about. That's when you realize the real game is just beginning. So here's the question: what do you do when you can solve any crime, but the next one might be your own? Morgan has a gift, but gifts come with a price. And as she closes in on the truth, one thing becomes terrifyingly clear. Someone out there is watching her, and they don't want her to solve what's coming next. Subscribe for part 2, because High Potential isn't just another crime show. It's a countdown to something explosive, and we're just getting started.